So, ladies and gentlemen, the guy that is sitting next to me his name is Victor Masingi. I thought by now I'll be calling him Pastor Masingi because of his history, and his pastor used to be a prominent preacher, you know. So naturally I thought he'd take over. So the title pastor was just waiting for him. Then he said no. And he decided he's gonna be a musician. And he's got a degree. So today he's educated people in studio. He's got a degree in music. Measuring in jazz. Now we've got a jazz pianist or rather musician, you know. And the funny thing is, these two people I have in studio, they grew up in my hood, for some reason I thought I was smarter than them. But like they say, time is the best storyteller. And then they have proven to be much smarter than I could ever think. They look at life in a different way. So when this gentleman on my left, after an episode, he'll call me and tell me about an angle I was not even thinking about, stretching my brain. And I'm Rudy. While you are there,
yes,
can overthinking or being too smart cause mental health or trigger?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, little book has too much reading can't.
No. I've never heard of that.
Okay, yeah. No. Sorry. I just wanted to ask him.
Okay.
Welcome, my brother.
So
welcome. I thought I should give an intro.
No, thanks.
That's why I get transition.
Yeah.
Are you well, my brother? No, man. I'm glad to see you.
Good, man.
Is this mic okay? It's okay. Okay. Before we start, Paula.
Move it closer.
Maybe move it a bit closer.
Move it a bit closer. Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah, Paula.
Okay, what did he say just now?
He said reading too much or being too intelligent does not cause...
Yes. No, for now, I felt like it did affect me that way, you know, in terms of, you know, because of these things are happening in your brain. So you hide yourself in. Now I pass time by absorbing knowledge.
You?
I pass time by absorbing knowledge.
Oh, yeah?
So, but it got to a point where I felt like I got Bukat's and all these things, whatever, and I just stopped. That's just my personal. But I just wanted to interject on that. I don't want to mess up the train.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you end up knowing all these things, and now you are posting these things, and now people are reading them. I mean, they make sense, but it's like it's rapid. It's
no, 100%.
Yeah. And you have my WhatsApp, so you know.
Yeah, and your Facebook.
Yeah. Take.
So,
but let's do it properly.
He's very smart in terms of. Victor he was one of the first people to fix computers. He did IT. Then next thing he's doing videography. Next thing he's a keyboard player, and you were knowledgeable in all these things. So that's when I figured out very early you are a very smart person. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know this. False humility is pride. So my brother, I need to talk to you about your journey, as a musician.
Sure.
So as far as I understand, you used to play in church, in your father's church, to be. Yeah. Please take us through that journey.
Okay.
Were you forced?
No.
Okay.
So my dad, right? He was obviously a bishop, founder of a ministry, and that ministry had branches. But he. To cut a long story short, he was the one playing, so he would preach and play at church, right? Now, when my eyes opened, he's playing this keyboard. I'm like, that's cool. And now, but I don't say teach me because I'm a kid. I'm like 4 or 5. I just sit there and watch, every time watch. Until he says, let me take this kid and let me train him. So I'm 5 years old. He's studying me now. And, my father is from Barking, the era yabo. Like, okay, I'm told that one of his counted among the pioneers of playing in church because he started playing in 70s, 80s, where Christians never sabati di katara, and all of those things. And then he started, and he taught himself, you know, which is why I regard him more of smarter than me, because he didn't have a teacher. But he was, wherever he went, because, I mean, you have to remember, back then, the barking, the kereke, they like, if you knew one Christian here, you were like, if you were the Christian, you were the weird one. You know, there wasn't like now where you bump into a Christian now everywhere. Now it's like fashion now. Now it's even easier to say Mzalwan. When we were growing up, you were the weird one. Mzalwan, whatever. I don't know. Okay, let me put it, because I think you're older than me. I know that.
Yes.
But that era, much. There's no arguing that.
No, but with what you're saying, 100%. I mean,
I understand.
You've been running to them in pubs.
Yeah. This guy's something else. But so
he pioneered this.
Well, not alone. But he was one of the people who produced our keyboard players. You understand? Yeah, there's many people you can bump to. Like, I'll just post a picture of my dad, and they're like, I know this guy. I used to sit with him, he used to show me stuff. I'm like, I never knew that. You understand? I bump into people now who knew him. I didn't know these people knew each other. But anyway, he taught me when I was 5.
The basics.
Yeah, just the basics. I mean, you know, there's a way of playing of which you are playing traditional. You know, you don't have all these American chords and stuff. You understand? And that's what he knew. But he knew that in and out. And bro, if you could find him at a crusade or a whole night prayer, I would roast you, bro. He would roast you. I don't know if you would know. Yeah, of that era, probably. You know, funny you should say that they knew each other.
Really?
Yeah, Derek Demand has been to my house once, but I was a kid. Because we were living in Middleburg. Derek Demand, I think, go Belfast, which is not far from there. You understand? So they were contemporaries. But Babun Zemande was, what do you call? He was a recording artist. My father never got the chance to record. And all of that, But so at the age of 6, I start, you know, and then I keep playing.
Is that where you inherited F sharp from your dad?
It's funny because he claimed that he taught me all the keys when I was a kid. I don't remember, bro. But he claimed that at some point you could do all of this. So by the time I get to 10 years old now, where now I start to gain attention, you know, Kokasi, as this kid who's just doing these things that I don't know, who not many other people are doing. Go Amaskra specifically. You understand? Because remember, it's not like now where there's globalization, you know. Back then it was like, okay, the hot guys were gospel, understand. But I happened to coincide with those guys from Pumalang, so I would get stuff from them. Come back with Maskral, and then people just hear me play. Like, oh, okay, this is one. So that's how it started. And then from the age of 10, this DVD here, it's very important. I don't know if the camera can see it.
Yeah, Joyous 2.
Yeah, this was
Joyous 2 or 3.
That live for me is not throwing shade, but that was my favorite, even today.
Of course, all of us.
It's my favorite, you understand? And it was my school as well. You know, I think I could still play all those songs.
Is it because of Mtunzi?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
That is the GOAT. That is the greatest, bro. Because there was a way we played at church. He comes, this guy, you know, and he starts doing things. It's like, wow, that's cool. We want to do that. But now you do it with people who aren't listening to that, and then there's clashes now in the service. I listened to recordings of myself at the time playing. I'm like, why did I do that? But it helped me not to judge these younger ones when they do the same thing now, because he comes, he's like, this is cool, I'm gonna do it in the music, but he'll regret it later. Or why so I don't judge them anymore. It was a phase. I was a baby when I was doing it.
Now talking about what you're saying, kids, bakukasi and whatnot. People don't know, ne? But in the same street, there's you.
Keep up my file.
There's you in the corner there. Mean on the keyboard. And there's Kutuano.
Up there, bro. Okay.
And there's these two guys in the same street. Playing on that level.
They don't know.
Did you and Gutwana once sit in a while? And I know there was a point that you guys played in my band.
Yes.
But did you guys ever sit and say, hey, man, I don't want time? Or did you guys do your own things in your own isolated corners?
You know what, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy. But it's I mean, it's in the past, you know. But there was a time when he was starting to check. There's a pianist from Limpopo who lost his mind.
I know, really.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but you said it. It's fine. I hear he lost his mind.
It's public knowledge.
Yeah, Mari, I don't like talking about people. You know, it doesn't. But anyway, but I don't know how they met, but he started studying with him. And this is a time where I was relaxed a lot because, and you know, if you live in a place where whenever you are somewhere, people are like, yo, this guy is hot. You just relax.
Good one.
So he comes later Rangwan, you know, to my crib. This is not long after my dad passed away. And he says to me, yo, man, I'll tell you something. And then he plays the same thing, but now it's one. And I was like,
it's packed in the spirit.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I need to understand.
Need to go back.
Yeah, man. But I appreciate those moments. You know, I appreciate being with him in those moments. He doesn't know this, but he will know this if he sees this. He pushed me. He pushed me for the longest time.
Yeah,
he never knew. He pushed me.
Of course.
So I appreciate him for that. We're in separate streams now. He's killing it where he is, you know. So that's good. Especially, you know, Autakukas, you say, I know that guy, I grew up with him, you know. I'm proud of the guy. Very proud of the guy. He's done the thing.
That man pushed. But now let's go. So you start playing in church. You start playing in your dad's church. So you start improving. Now you have Victor. I was only Victor F sharp. So you play all keys, and then you finally decided, I'm gonna study music. I'm gonna follow this because you're studying IT. You said away with IT. I'm gonna stick to music. There was a point where you came to me and said, this thing of checking through school, I'm going to go back to the old way of checking through the ear. Remember there was a time you told me that. But then, next thing, you went back to checking through the school until you obtained your degree. So I remember running to you in the arts campus.
We studied together.
And then you said, no, I'm doing my BTech, man. I need to take this all the way. Okay, dope. You know? And then you started playing, and then you had a fair share of playing in church.
A lot,
I'm talking about not just your dad's church, playing other churches, and being, what do you call it? Having a contract with a church.
Oh, yeah.
And then it further led to you taking a church to the CCMA.
Yes, sir.
Can you please take me through that?
Okay, here's what's happening. So at the time I was married, and I was working with a company that was very good to me as a private teacher. You know, making what I make now as an educator in the government, but making that money working only 12 hours a week as opposed to being at work 8 to 9. You understand? But the problem with that job was that January, December, there's no students. Even I've got rent to pay. You know, the wife, the kids. You know, so I get an offer. My former lecturer, was playing at the church. He says, "Yo, Vic, now I'm leaving this church, so go play." And then they'll pay you. So they say to Vic, we want to hire you, but we require 50 hours a week from you. And I did the calculations and realized that I won't be able to gig. I won't be able to, 50 hours a week. I'm going to have to say goodbye to a lot of gigs because I'm at church now. I was hired as a music pastor and music director to work there. So I had to go to church, clock, be busy with what I'm busy with, prepare the music and whatever. But now the problem is the people, and unfortunately the pastor's wife passed away. the people who were running the church, they were business people, and they were business people even at church. You know how you say private sector is toxic? Yeah, now we had that toxicity. In as the staff in the church, we could feel the toxicity from these people who are preaching. You understand? And so as a result, nobody ever lasted a year working at the church, whether it's the guy who does the graphics, the posters or whatever, you know. So but with me is that they took it to say, okay, no, yes, we hired you music pastor, music director, but they started to throw other things at me as well that interrupted what I came for originally. I had to do asset registry. I didn't even know what that was. I'm a musician, you know. But because we are paying you, we're gonna keep you, like we basically own you. And then now I've released all my students to my friends. I have to make this job work. But I couldn't make the job work because, and the other problem was that I would get conflicting instructions. The pastor will say, do this. The pastor's wife will say, do this, something else. So now I'm trying to please both these people, but the instructions are not in alignment. And me and my, I don't know whether to call it calculating brain or discernment. I just said, these people are not sharing the same bedroom.
The pastor and the wife?
Yeah, they're not sharing the same bedroom. Because how do you come to me with conflicting instructions? Turns out I was right, because they got a divorce like 2 years after I left. 2-3 years, I understand. So there was problems. I know these things, bruh. And this is why I watch what I say, because I discern things. I might not have the full idea.
Catch things in the spirit.
I catch things in the spirit. And then, like, I want to, let's say you and I are arguing, and I think you can attest to this. And I can hit below the belt. And I'm sitting and I'm like, you know, I said some horrible things to this guy in the past, and I feel so bad about it, you know. But I was not aware. Like now when I'm speaking, I just speak. Can some of these things are downloading, and I'm hitting you below the belt. I don't even know it. You understand? But anyway, I knew there was problems there. You understand? But because I couldn't do my job. Basically, I was fired because I couldn't do my job. But I couldn't do my job because these people never understand? So they fire me. It wasn't just me. They hired me, and then a week later they hired a colored lady from Durban to be the graphics. So we're both working there now. Understand? We've left whatever we left behind to work there, and then now they fire her a week before. I don't know for what, because she was amazing. But they were just in the habit of firing people. These were business people who had money, millions. You understand? So there was a God complex to say, these people are disposable. These are the people who preach powerful word on Sunday. Understand? So they fired her a week before me, and then I was gone the week after. I was relieved to be fired because it was toxic, that environment. Understand? But now the lady who got fired a week before me, she's like, dude, now I'm taking these people to CCM. And then we go to the CCM. No, the thing is, you fire me.
But did you win the case?
Yeah. You fire me, we start kind of like settling. You fire me in the middle of the month. Rent is due, and now you haven't paid me. So at least I was able to get, I think I had the option to take 6 months salary or just take one. I didn't want to be controversial or whatever, so I just said, let me just take one month. That 1 month I was able to pay rent for 1, 2, 3 months.
So you left 6 months salary?
No. I took 1 month. Yeah, I left to 6 months. Like, I didn't want to fight. You know, there was enough fighting happening in the house. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I didn't want to fight. So I just took that and paid rent for 2-3 months in advance until he pick up.
So when I saw the story that you took the church to CCMA, and then Miss Kale, I see you say,
but don't be afraid to call me. I don't do that anymore. If a church screws me over now, I just leave them.
You leave them,
Yeah, but that one time, because rent was due, bro.
No, I understand. But then later you came, and Pastor Bishop Sono came and said, musicians are like car guards.
Yes.
And you went on YouTube.
Yes.
And you said this pastor is used by the devil.
Yes. I can justify that.
Please. I want to understand where you were coming from.
Bro, the music, one for musicians, it's very tough. Musicians were created and are still being created for the church. If you trace the history of music, music was purely for spiritual purposes. It only became secular in the 12th century. Understand? So, if you were a musician, you had to be in the temple or in the monastery, or like, these people who had a medicine men, medicine women, they would count the musicians as part of the healers, you understand? So, but Rena as Bazalwan, we consider them as Levites, even if not biologically, but spiritually so, as Levites, because they are fulfilling that role. And you get musicians, the music is so deep in them that they cannot do any other job but that. And you look at the church, you look at the church, what was happening at the time was that they were expanding. Now, this is just purely of the video. I don't know the inner workings. They were expanding, they were having more branches, and they realized that, if we have to have paid musicians in all of these branches, it's going to be a significant cost. I stand to be corrected. And I have to say, I don't know the man personally, you understand? And this was a long time ago. Maybe I was already crazy by then. I don't know. But this was a long time ago.
But you clearly still believe these.
No, definitely.
Okay,
But I wouldn't go after someone I've never met now. Now I would want to sit down with you before I go online and I get a whole fit. You understand? But at the time, like I'm saying, maybe I was already crazy by then. Understand? But I just felt, no, this is if there's no income in the church, a church that can take care of musicians, when we talk about that church, we're not talking about a church that started Maban. We're not talking about a church that
we could say it's a mega church.
Yeah, this Sunday money is there. I've heard that money is there, and I've heard that when that statement was made, a certain amount of millions were in the account there from someone who knew the inner
reliable source.
A reliable source to say, brother, was about 80 million. I don't know how reliable it is, but he said this like 80? On my I don't know how true it is, bro. Understand? I'm not saying it as fact, but
so you were angry when you did that video.
Yeah, in
your head you were downloading 80 million.
Yeah, it could be a lie.
No, it could be a lie. So let's stick to it. So a car guard is not the same as a musician. In function or in spirituality. Break it down.
You know what happened, ne? It is possible that we misunderstood the man. It is possible. But the way we took it is to say, Pella, when you say car guard, you can take anyone to be a car guard. Just put that apron on them or whatever you call it. Yeah, you don't need any prior training for that. You understand? When you say you're a musician, bruh, I've been playing since I was 5. I'm 36 now. I'm still working. When I say I'm still working, like, when I'm at work, I put in a few certain amount of hours per day to maintain and grow this thing. I'm still working on this, you understand? And if I stop working on it, it drops, understand? So I am skilled. I am very skilled. So you cannot say I'm as dispensable as that car guard. We took it to say, it's not just me, bro.
No, a lot of musicians, I get it.
It was a thing, bro.
I just want to understand how
the devil thing.
How then you took it.
The devil thing.
360 or he's used by the devil. That's the
because when you're not working in church, you have to go to the secular world. And actually not even the secular, if you go into the gospel industry, you come across things. You understand? You become susceptible, and you're actually placed in the firing line because now you are playing with this. You are playing for this person, but they believe in something that is not in line with what you believe in, and which could be dangerous to you as a Christian. God can protect you, but if you go into certain things, it's like you are putting yourself in the firing line. Understand? So being used in the devil in the, I don't even remember saying that. Like I said, I must have been crazy. But I can justify it. Being used by the devil to say, now these musicians are going to go into the world and be destroyed by the world. They're going to go into the gospel industry and learn things and be destroyed. The music industry, my friend, is like an ocean. You cannot get in and not get wet. Something rubs off. And some of these things, you don't even learn them from people who are not saved. You learn them from people who are saved.
It's horrible. Moruti.
Does that make sense?
No, I need you to respond to what he said. Just bring a bit of light, no? So, Bishop said musicians and a cagad, same thing.
Yes.
He further goes and says the pastor then was used by the devil to chase away musicians.
Yes.
If the musicians get chased away, then that's when they go into the lines. Then that's how they get chowed and get
Pick up bad habits.
Bad habits. You know, he says you can't go into the ocean and not get wet. What would you say as a pastor now?
No, as a pastor, I wouldn't falter that much what the pastor says, especially looking at it biblically. But I will falter it when you look at it more in a social life because of how we put it, the skills and everything. But when you look at the Levites function, actually when you check, I think it's Numbers, you'd also see where it gives their function. There is where it says some of them are guards. It's not something that is probably something. I'm not sure if you saw that one. But the duty of the Levite was to sing, was to take care of the temple, was to... So it was not just singing. So when you look at it as a skill, that means as a musician, you become part of Levites as much as the Kagats are part of the Levites or the ushers are part of the... Because I think always look at the only one aspect of Levites of them being singers. And... another thing is that most of us, we have a lot of musicians who mostly are not grounded in the word. And more often than not, they don't have a place that they belong to submit. Because remember that every other place outside the church, it's a jungle. Even I go to work, it's a jungle. So we can't say that if they go out to seek for help, it's going to be a problem. It has to do with their discipline as Christians. Because even at work, we have those things. You understand me? There are people who I work in hospitals, for examples. You could have sisters that are trying to tempt you. You could have people that are trying to do that. It always happens. I mean, any place outside the church as Christians, it becomes a jungle. But if you are well prepared from a church point of view, you are able to be more disciplined. Would you succeed everywhere? No. But you are at least more prepared for the jungle, because some of us, like for example, at church, if they ask me, can you help with counseling? I do that. And it's even safer at church, it's easier at church, because when I go to work, I could be assessing someone differently.
With what he said. Oh, do you have a response?
Yeah.
Quickly,
oh, okay.
So your thoughts?
Oh, okay. No, I hear that. Ne? I hear that. Although it's, I would say that it's slightly, apples and oranges.
I agree.
To a certain extent. Because I get I'm at work. Ne? If maybe people want to do something that I'm not, comfortable with, it's okay. Go spanning whatever. When you're in a band, it is totally different, because sometimes these people, they will book each other according to habits, those same habits, understand? You find yourself in the band, ne? Okay, agents, now when we finish standing Rapshaya or Ratsuba, understand? You are not part of that. Ne? Now you become the sore thumb out, you understand? And because you're the sore thumb out, you don't belong before you're gone, you understand? A lot of compromise happens in the music industry, especially in the gospel industry, and it happens because of hunger. To say, if I'm not, if I'm not part of this or that, it will be matata, understand? But basically what I was saying is that when you're in the industry, you're the odd one out. You're the odd one out. You're like a light, you understand? And in you living righteously is like keeping that light on. and it's not always easy to keep that line on when you're the only one. When you're at church, no, man, we're at church. Have you lost your mind? Understand? But there, you're the weird one out. We want to belong as human beings. We want to be accepted. Understand? So I respectfully, I hear what he's saying, but those environments, I mean, especially think of something whereby you're on tour overseas for 2-3 months. All these people are doing these funny things. You're the one who's not doing them. How long before you break down and you're one of them?
No. I hear, but like you said, ne? Apples and oranges, ne? Marakiri apple is a green, need orange.
Yeah, there's
orange.
a
but I hear you. But you touched on something very important, ne? As you were talking, you spoke about playing in a band, needing to be in a certain clique or clan, or phone call away.
Yeah.
Eh? That's what they call it. So I've seen that. I mean, it's been obvious that if you don't fit in a certain group, you are like an outcast.
Yeah. But now you have to eat.
You have to eat. So your playing is disregarded.
Yes, definitely.
It's disregarded. So I've had you play, and I've always asked myself, man, but this man, why are we seeing the same faces? Why is this man not featuring? Is that part of the reason? Because I don't mean to say anything bad about you.
No, you're my brother.
But
feel free.
You can be different, you know.
I know.
And sometimes awkward.
Yes.
So has that closed doors for you to?
I believe so.
To be in those spaces.
I believe so.
Ne?
I believe so.
Because the ability tick, the obviously the know-how, you are well educated, you know your stuff, you know. But I know you gig, but you're not prominent like I thought you'd be.
I'm not living off gigs, and I would have loved. I should be. There's no reason I shouldn't be living off gigs. I feel like I'm competent enough to live off gigs. When I say live off gigs, I'm saying I'm competent enough to play with the best in the country. That I believe, no matter how it comes out.
Yeah.
But the awkwardness. But I get it now. When God wants to use you, He has to separate you, and the easiest way to separate you is to make you awkward. And not even awkward by many things. Like I said to you, now I catch things in the spirit. So maybe I'm talking to you, and then I just have a thought about you. Now I don't know that thought it's true, and then I make a joke. You're gonna call me? No way. This is why I don't like to talk around people, because I don't know when I'm maybe this person feels with, hey, this person is exposing me. You understand? No, I don't. It's like I mean, somebody came to me the other day, and then I just look at him and go, turns out the girlfriend moved out the day before. Yes.
But it's right. Where's only girlfriend?
Man, that's his business. That's his business. Understand? But such things, understand? The second thing, the industry does not appreciate people who are knowledgeable in terms of their rights, and people who are stand for the truth, or rather just defend themselves. Understand? You're not allowed to defend yourself in the industry. If you defend yourself, you're out. Look at everybody who's ever tried to state their case, to say, I'm being treated unfairly, I'm being robbed, I'm being whatever. You never hear from that person again.
Kate Williams, is that you?
No. No, there's people on this wall who haven't heard from in a long time, and they're still releasing.
Yeah.
Simply because they decided to say, I want to defend myself. To you own this industry, you must shut up. You must shut up, and you must you must just be. You must be. I wouldn't say neutral, but don't have those those thorns, those sharp edges. It's a problem. It's a problem. But more than that, now I believe I'm still being groomed. I believe my time is still coming for whatever I need to do musically, because I definitely believe that it's not a mistake for me to be a musician. It's just that some people take longer than others because they have bigger assignment and whatever. I'm not just going to get there and play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be speaking. I'm gonna be drawing from the word, because remember I also did advanced diploma in ministry.
In ministry, yes.
Understand? And funny enough, I didn't do that because I wanted to be a pastor. I did that because
I thought you want to take your father's churches.
No, I'm vocal, and there's people who are left running the church, the ministry, and I wanted vocal to have the paper backing me up. That's all. That's the only reason.
I see.
Yeah.
And in short, should musicians be paid?
Paid
The church.
at church, yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to get.
If you can, if you have the resources,
Yeah.
you cannot take blood from a stone. One. First thing, I think.
Okay. So with what you were saying, do you believe the music industry is a true reflection of the real talent in South Africa?
No.
As what we see in the DVDs, do you feel?
One of them Kenya pressure, man. Great people here, man, and you have international artists as well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, né? As great as you are, as the famous person, there's always someone on the underground, buddy,
That's true.
who's busy brewing and cooking.
Very true.
Understand?
Yeah.
Like, you hear of people who for years, you're like, where was this guy? They're like, no, he's been around. He's been around. It's just they wouldn't let him in. You understand? I hope, like, okay, I don't know what, like, for instance, I'll make you an example, Dr. Tumi. Dr. Tumi's been pushing, bro, for years.
Of course.
You know, by the time he blew out, he was 10 years in. You understand?
That's when the world noticed
Yes,
it, but
understand.
For people who went to Dunza and Bethesda, they know that this man has been
Yeah. Yeah, but as for why, I don't know the why. But I'm just saying to you, he's been sitting with that the whole time. Not really sitting with it, but he's been there, but he just never understands.
Is it in when opportunity meets you prepared?
Yes.
Then there's an explosion.
Definitely.
Okay.
And which is what?
So you're waiting for that collision, man.
Hard, bro. Hard. Not just I'm waiting for someone to come rescue me.
Yeah.
But somewhere, somehow, something's going to happen and something's going to be like...
Yeah. Now the topic for today. Man.
Sure.
So you have openly told me, I don't want to say boldly, but you said it like a conviction. Or conviction is the right word, but you said to me, Mabra, you suffered mental illnesses.
Yes.
You
Yes,
said
sir.
you were diagnosed with?
MDD, which is...
MDD.
Major depressive disorder or clinical depression.
All right.
Oh, I'm hearing this for the first time. I just knew it as MD, I didn't know it was clinical depression.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, in short, you were depressed.
Yeah, man.
Was it your music depressing you? Was it love life? Was it family? What was it? Does depression go according to... I was depressed because of this. Or it could be a conglomerate.
Yeah, that is why I was saying clinical or MDD. Normally, if something can better explain your depression, we can't diagnose it there is an illness. So if you're depressed because someone passed, we can't diagnose it as an illness. But if it lasts longer than what is expected, then we can start to consider looking into this. So if something can better explain the behavior, it can, because of even when you do the diagnosis, they swear that you must exclude for you to stick with that diagnosis.
I see. So now, musicians. You made an example, ne? There's a big fight between musicians who went to school and self-taught. Ne? And
I'm not part of that fight.
No, but it's fight. It's loosely.
Yeah.
It's banter or whatever.
But I just want to put it out that I'm not part of that fight.
So the ones who didn't go to school, you went to school, but look, we're playing this now. We're gigging. And you went to school, you are good at what you do, and
you're working.
But people who didn't go to school are working. Does that stuff work on your psyche?
It's not even about school, bro. It's about the substance that you bring. Yeah, to say, but cause range it's one. When I talk about range, ne, there's people who just crammed in a few things over 4 years. You know, if you work hard for 4 years, bro, you can sound amazing. Doesn't mean you've got range. Range says to you, when the industry turns, are you still able to be functional? Why get a substance? These same people, you know, self-taught, some, not all. Because some people are self-taught, but they're self-taught not just ka gospel, but everything. Understand? So there's people who are just self-taught ka gospel, and in that sense, you don't. And in the gospel, they only self-taught of a certain era. Understand? They only self-taught of, like, from the diary of a psalmist going up era. Understand? Your range is very limited in that. You understand? So these are the people when you take them and say, let's go do Afro pop, let's go do something else, it still sounds like church.
It still sounds gospel, yeah.
You don't have the range because you didn't put in the work and you didn't do the research.
All right. So when are your mental health, where did it emanate from? What do you think triggered it?
It was my music career, and then the music career played a part, and then the marriage was the final blow. It was the biggest blow that just pushed everything over the edge. I don't think I've been right since I've been an adult. When I say an adult, since from the age of 20, 21, I don't think I've been okay.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. Bro, I would just sit. You just sit in the room. It's dark. You don't want to wake up. You don't want to do anything, because now you left IT to pursue this thing you love. This thing you love is taking time. And then are you still staying at home? You've got, okay, I didn't get any pressure at home, but you've got relatives. One of you to being a musician, ask them about relatives. It's not nice, because when you get to those funerals, you get to those weddings, now you're reminded, oh, this is the musician. That time the cousins are now driving. They got understand.
It's a keyboard.
Yeah, when you're the bum, the black sheep of the family. Understand? That's not nice. So there's that. And obviously knowing that this thing of, and I actually had to remove that from myself to say, I know I belong at this portion of the industry, but I'm not there. I don't know why I'm not there. Understand? I had to remove that to say I belong to be there. I still feel like I deserve it, but it's not part of my ego anymore. So the thing is, is doing so well, and that's what they call you when they feel like you can't play, or when they feel like you're not good enough. Understand? And especially if you get into a situation whereby you study music in detail. When I say in detail, I'm talking classically trained or jazz trained. There you really get into things and unpack them. Or when then it gets to you to say, but why am I not? Or because I know this thing on a very detailed and deep level. Understand? Whereas this guy who can't even, there's people who can play, they don't even know what key they're in. Which is not a problem for me, because it's about but I'm just saying that is another aspect of it. To say I feel like I agree. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror, and when you reach in the mirror, you think you're beautiful, and then someone comes outside and says "Kobo," say it's like, understand? So for this thing of, I think I'm a good musician, but and that can create serious depression.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So is that what
started
it?
I believe so. I'm saying I cannot self-diagnose, but I believe, because now there's things that started happening to me in my early adulthood. Like when I became, at a certain point, I stopped caring what I'm wearing, and it's people who noticed what who
you've been wearing the same pants the whole week.
Oh, well, not that bad, but it's just like, this guy, like, not taking care in your appearance. My philosophy was, as long as I didn't leave the house naked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get function at the
Hey.
So that contributed immensely.
So now I wear what's on the top.
Yes.
Does that mean that's what I wear? Does that mean I'm next? I'm
It also has to do with your work ethic. I mean, you not just work ethic.
Yeah.
You're a busy man. You don't have time to mix and match.
No, I don't think I'm even fashionable.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't think I'm even fashionable. No, I don't.
Once upon a time. You were the
no, fashionable. No.
Yeah.
You know, people wearing a brand as club doesn't mean you're fashionable. There's people who can. When I'm wearing,
yeah.
You know how they present it. There are people who are
Really?
gifted like that. Yes,
Okay.
I've seen them. And then now the same clothes, and then even normal. You know. So now, anyway, that's not the point. The point is,
yeah.
then you realize, man, something is wrong with me. And then how did marriage then come in and amplify the whole thing?
Aha. Here I have to be very careful, ne?
Be careful, yes.
Because I want to put a public disclaimer, ne? And I will try to put things in such a way as to, because this is not about revenge. Ne? We're not here for revenge. I want to make that very clear. Secondly, I have to respect the fact that I have a child with said person. One, I have to respect the fact that the child will grow and see this one day. One, so I will try to hide the identity. Because we're talking about what happened to me.
Correct.
And what she did to me, not necessarily now.
No problem.
Yeah.
I want to maybe ask this way, ne? Or so that we don't go too deep in it.
Yeah.
So when you were going through what you were going through with your music and whatnot, and you've got a partner who I assume does not see this thing, is it going somewhere? And I would assume not patient enough to wait it out.
I lost a fiance or two that way, girlfriends that way, before marrying. I lost a girlfriend or two, fiance or two that way.
So you had 2 fiances before you got married?
I don't know how many fiances I had, maybe 3 or whatever.
You had a lot of fiances?
I don't know. Did you know? I was.
No, I know one.
Yeah.
That's
no, I don't know what happened, but when I got to 21, I just had the thing. And I was dead serious about it. Like, the playing around was go high school, but when I became an adult, I was like, you know what, understand? And so when you meet someone and it's steady, you like understand? And where you feel like, no man, I can even bring this person home. Hey, dude, I feel sorry for my mother. Hey, yeah, because she
brought a lot.
Let's cap it at 3 or 4.
Really?
Yeah, whereby you said, I think. One and
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereby you think, I get it, you think, and then it doesn't pan out.
It doesn't pan out.
And then now you have to answer a motolo guy.
No, move it to Limpopo.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But the reality is, the music did also kill off one, and then now it's tough being a man. Even when you have a proper paying job. So who cares about my sister about about Bonica next. Yeah, I get it when they meet you, you're on stage, it's the lights and whatever. They don't even know if you're being paid for that specific gig. Yeah. And they don't even know how frequently this thing happens. You know?
More better exposure.
Yeah, the exposure sells you for a while, but then there's just out here. They've got their ways of exiting. And I think, when you interview guys in the future, they will tell you the same thing.
But have you ever heard this one, it's an exit. Conversation at home. I mean, when you break up with so many girls, you can now know, no. Breakup is coming.
Obviously. You see it.
And alcohol and drugs. So I don't know if let's a guy or even if you do. What is the connotation between musicians, alcohol, substance in general?
Okay, my brother, if you're looking for insecure people, go to the arts industry. Not just musicians, comedians, actors. Very insecure. Got a lot of insecurities and fears.
Go deeper.
Go deeper. Those insecurities and fears, like when you're playing alone in your room, you know this is my ceiling. But when you go on stage, the ceiling is here. And now it's a problem because I'm at a certain level, but they don't know it. Understand? And the correct way to deal with this is you need to deal with your childhood issues. All these people are artistically gifted. Somewhere in their childhood, something went wrong. And whether you were bullied, or whether your parents were abusive, or whether whatever, and that propelled you to your greatness. But because you don't deal with it, the same thing that propels you to your greatness destroys you. This is why a musician, someone like, just quickly because of time, Amy Winehouse, whatever, I don't know what happened, but, at some point, the alcohol ended up destroying her. So, just to cut it short, when people go on stage drunk or high, they want to hit the ceiling every night, and they are expected to hit the ceiling every night when they perform.
What do you mean hit the ceiling? Like, okay,
play at your best.
Oh, yes.
Understand? Play at your best every night. I mean, imagine you're touring with a musician. They're doing a 3-month tour. You're playing the same song every day. After a while, understand? And then hit so to keep it interesting. You are okay. Now suddenly the song sounds new, you see it in a different light. Oh, okay, I understand. Like, I'm not condoning this behavior, don't get me wrong, and it's not the way to go, because it destroys you at the end, and not even to count
you mean
drink or smoke, whatever it is that you do. Understand? The idea is that I cannot give my best when I'm sober. So let me get high, let me get drunk, then I can give my best. You understand? Because when you are sober, your insecurities are chowing you. You understand? Someone like me, as I'm playing, I'm judging each and every note. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? And it cuts the process of the build-up to the music. You understand? That is really what is going on here. But in my case, there was an era. I won't say when. I'll leave the investigators to find that out. There was an era where, because I was depressed, I could not enjoy anything. Life was like, let me explain it. When you're depressed, life is like, you're like seeing life in black and white, as opposed to seeing it in color. When you see life in black and white, bro, you don't enjoy the food, you don't enjoy your favorite TV show, you don't enjoy your movie, you don't enjoy, like, you can just sit at the instrument and look at it, not play it. And I mean, it's not good to sit and not play. Because when you're depressed, I don't know what they call it, but you feel nothing. Understand? And now, if you can imagine, okay, if I say to you, I don't enjoy food, I don't enjoy TV, I don't enjoy anything. Understand? When I pray, you know how when you pray, you sort of feel, I don't know what to put it. There's a warmth that comes, and we try to, we say that's the presence of God, or that's what we interpret it as, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but we interpret it as the presence of God. You don't even feel that. So your prayer life also goes out the window, because now you can't connect. It's like you're talking alone, you understand? And so it becomes so easy to be susceptible to these things. So there was definitely a period in my life where I never had this thing where, okay, let me drink, or let me. I never smoked, by the way.
But you drank.
I drank, but I was smart. I was a crook about this, because if you smoke, right? If you smoke, there's too much admin in smoking weed. You have to. What's a perfume? You have to, you have to perfume. You have to understand, and the lips eventually give you away. The fingers give you away. So I had someone who was making it in an ingestible form for me, in terms of oil, cannabis oil. So you would never know. You would just think this guy is tired. You're high. Blind. But now...
So you did weed and you drank?
Yeah, but drinking not so much. The weed was my daily bread for a period of time. When I say daily bread, it means when I wake up, it's on. And then now, because you don't... When you smoke it, it's out in 2 hours. When you ingest it, it's in for 6 to 12, my brother. Yes. And that becomes your new normal.
Ingest can
swallow. When it goes into your stomach,
okay,
it's far more potent than when it goes into your chest. Yes.
Hey, ingest kind of injection.
Yeah. So
I thought we're carbo.
No,
so ingest. Can we?
Yeah. Ingest. No. It's never. That's And I justified it by saying it's a plant, and I knew for a fact, I'm never going to cross over beyond this.
All right. So I don't think you can say that for sure, but I wanna find out something.
Well, it never happened.
Well, I'm thinking.
I guaranteed myself for Papa.
Ne?
The minute the minute you start wanting chemicals,
Cool. We need to close very soon, but I need to ask something. Muruti, you can help me. Does weed not make you go, depending on your tolerance?
Yes, it can make you go psychotic.
Yeah.
There's what we call substance-induced psychotic disorder. So that substance can... Remember, each and every person has a level of tolerance of that particular substance. And if you take more than that, it can create a psychosis. And in what he said is the fact that you probably never reached your threshold when it comes to substance use. Because what happens with substance use is the fact that when you use it, it gets to a point where you reach your threshold, it no longer has the same effect as you. Because remember, when you are depressed or having some difficult emotionally, you are medicating with it. That is why when you check about Tomakabo, Grandpa, or and go up, and all of a sudden they want very strong ones. Yeah. So chances are you probably got help before, but if it persistently stayed there, you would have needed a higher high than the substance can give you. That's how mostly addiction progress.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank God that period of my life is over.
It's over, ne?
Yeah.
So you stopped weed?
I had to because you know you realize I mean, I had an incident where I was with someone, we got both high, right? But they because Nafonet was habitual, they started to panic and be paranoid. Guess what I do, bruh? I go to my keyboard, I start playing because I knew the spiritual power that my playing had.
As they're going,
yeah,
I'll say crazy.
Yeah. And I played 15-20 minutes, they were fine. Because I knew what happens when I play. And I knew that thing is with me always. But then you get to a point to saying, hey, wait, King, I need to stop playing with God now. You understand? And also, you know, these things long term, they can cause some real damage. Yeah, one. Because but I had to get to a point where I said I can't do this anymore. I just need to face life as it is.
Yeah.
Answer.
So now
I was fortunate that I was diagnosed.
Ne?
There's people who don't even know what they went through or are going through.
So when you're diagnosed, are you on medication now?
No, not anymore. Because there's a set period.
Oh, this thing is not chronic, ne?
It depends. Sometimes what they normally do is their first time, they'd give you medication for a certain amount of time and then try to taper it down and see if you can function without it. Because it can be just brief or incidental. But if it keeps coming back more often than not, it may end up being a chronic one.
Chronic, ne?
Yeah, I'm at that point of where they need to see if I can function without it. Because they literally said, it's like, okay, when they put you on depression meds, it's like they're putting you on a tricycle. And then now they remove those two wheels to say, drive on your own now. And that's what you need to see. Yeah, and this is where you say, hey, God has to fix me. God has to fix me because...
It goes back to God has to fix me. No,
the thing is, it's either God has to fix me or beyond the stuff for the rest of your life.
Oh, yes, I hear you.
Yeah, and also remember that spirituality is a very big part of many individuals. For him, it's God. Someone else, it could be something else. But you have to be holistic. So I can't now say because I'm getting medication, so I can't be looking at my spiritual life.
Hey! I wonder why I get madam. So, my brother, with your journey now, ne? With where you are now, do you feel content? You said you're divorced now, ne?
Yes, sir.
So you feel content? Are you hungry for life now? Would you get married again?
I have some fears, man. I have some fears because, you know, the way everything went up until getting married, I could not say it would have gone so bad. it got very bad, bruh. It got bad way to a point where it messed me up. So, I'm always I've scared of people in the past now, because you want something that reminds me of something that looks like something someone else used to do, and then you understand, you just end up pushing people like to say, hey, not again. Understand? Because you don't want to go through stuff like that again. The psychologist, though I knew this before going for therapy, they said I went through what you call NPD. No, not NPD. Narcissistic abuse. Yeah, and it's kind of the worst things ever that you.
So you were abused?
Yes, I was emotionally.
Wait, if somebody says, this thing how is taking forever, is that abuse?
No, this
was it deeper?
No, this had nothing to do with my music, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, it when you suffer narcissistic abuse, you're being psychologically and emotionally abused by a very intelligent person. You understand? To a point where you don't know you're being abused. You're abused, but you don't know you're being abused. Ever seen those relationships where someone will come to you and cry, like tell you horror stories, this person is doing this to me. Then they go back to the person again. Because what these people do is that when they attract you, like they study your weaknesses, your fears, and they make sure that they meet the need of those things, which makes you feel better than anyone else who's ever made you feel. And you say, what? I've met the love of my life. I've met someone understand. I've met my soulmate. Khanti, those things will be later used against you, understand? And then when you are being abused, they go back to being that sweet person. And then they abuse you more, which destroys you more. They go back to being that sweet. It's a cycle, but every time it happens, it damages you more and more and more. I said through almost 4 or 5 years of that. You understand? So it had a significant impact, and I cannot say I'm the same person. But that's what I went through. It's just that because of time, but it's a very, I'm sure he'll say it's a very deep and complex topic, and it's prevalent in the church as well. You have pastors who are these type of abusers. You're wondering, I cannot leave this church. Because when you want to leave, he's got a way of roping you back in. Then he abuses you. Then he ropes you back in. Then he abuses you. Then he ropes you back in. I had to study psychology, bruh. Not like formally, but sit on psychological forums to understand what was happening to me. And why it wouldn't work to stay there, and why I had to get out of there. I don't know if...
I think when you said NPD, it's what do they call the narcissistic personality disorder?
Yes, sir.
So it's normal when they say personality disorder, it's something it's a disorder that someone grew up with. So it's one of the most difficult thing in our field to treat.
The abuser.
The whole person's life. And
the abuser.
Yeah, not the victim.
Not the victim, but the I'm not saying he had that. I'm just explaining to what he said. But NPD. So normally it's people that would have a inflated sense of self. Everything has to be about them, and they're quite manipulative to make sure that everything they benefit. They don't care about the next person's feeling. They will only show interest in showing their feelings if they want something from you. Other than that, they're just cold, mistreated. As long as what they do will get them what they want.
From what age does that start? I'll tell you why I'm asking this.
No, you can't diagnose a personality disorder until 18 years old.
Until 18,
Yeah, for example, you have what we call antisocial. Normally with children, it will be diagnosed as conduct disorder. So personality disorder, remember that normally personality, I think your actual personality is determined around 21. Or some would say 18. So that's why in other states they would say you can't drink before 18, others would say 21, depending on what they believe in the two. So normally it's something that we can say you have a personality disorder when somehow your personality must be fully formed, and that becomes you. So it can be diagnosed before 18 years.
No, I understand it, but I've seen, you've got kids, Have you ever seen how manipulative they can get?
Yes.
So I'm saying, can it start forming from that age? So when they know that, if I cry historically like this, I'll get that attention, or I'll get what I want. Or they get to a shop, they're crying historically for something, and they know that, because now you'll be embarrassed. You'll buy what you does it
No,
emanate from
remember, children don't think that way. Children think about what worked previously. So yesterday I cried and I got it.
Yeah.
So they're not thinking in that sense that I'm manipulating this person. It's just that as an adult, that is why even when we talk about emotions, what we do with children, we teach them what emotions are because they feel them but they can't name them. So that experience is so. Yesterday I asked from this and everyone ignored it. I started crying, everyone jumped. So it means when I cry, these people respond, but they are not thinking of it they are not manipulative. They are using what worked.
I see. Sure. I'm learning here, ne? But my brother, let's not leave it on a somber mode. Okay, it went down, but I'm saying, my man, you must keep strong, eh?
Yeah,
I don't know what you guys are going through. Like Muruti said, all of us have got a touch of it, you know.
So let me interject and say, unless you've been depressed, you will never understand. And
true.
what is said is when you need the people in your life to understand that you're battling this thing. Understand? Because why get a battle? Well, it's not like a cold, bro. It's not like a cold. You can sit one day and say, sharp. And then one day it just hits you like a ton of bricks. And you start all over again, now having to pick up the pieces. And you understand. So, and then they will say, no, but about depressed, the barata attention.
Yes.
Understand? Pella, when you're depressed, one of the things, you're suicidal. And that's what I was running away from. Because when I was sober, there was no reason to be alive. So at least let me ingest my weed. Or suddenly play some music. Wow, that song is cool. Whereas that song in Tlapela back then. But now it's like, oh, it's nice, go to the keyboard. Oh, it's nice, understand. Just to be able to enjoy life. Because when you're depressed, you enjoy nothing in life.
Wait a minute. Okay, I just can't say them by name, but there were guys that I knew. They were taking narcotics. They were taking drugs, I hear.
Those are drugs, not plants.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, 100%. And when they were in that state, they could check the whole night, for days. And obviously, when you stop doing drugs, when you stop doing all those things, when you come back, that skill is still there.
Yes.
So, any substance that you take can really propel you to go there because it gives you the zeal for life. You feel like you're alive, and you feel like you wanna.
You need it, or you'll kill yourself. I'm saying when you're depressed, you need to enjoy life, or you will kill you. If you say you don't enjoy life, then why are you still alive?
I hear you.
Adding in what he's saying, remember that suicidality, it's what we call a symptom of depression. It's like when you have flu, you can't decide I'm going to cough now and not cough when. So when you have depression, suicidal ideation comes at any time.
Definitely.
And sometimes they come with ideas, and that's when it becomes a high risk. So, but remember that substances don't propel you. The skill is not there. You just don't have the energy, and sometimes you abuse your body. For example, you could check for 2 hours and go sleep, come back and check for 2 hours. But other people prefer to do it for 24 hours. Whereas that thing, if you can stretch it over time, you can do the same amount of work that you did. So that is why I say that when you are more depressed, you self-medicate. Because when you take that, it gives you a brief sense of energy that is not there. And you feel like I'm back. And you would also testify that even the crashes are more heavier. When you come out of that high, the depression hits you like a ton of bricks. The suicide becomes even worse. And that's why I'm saying it gives you a sense of this false escape. But with every escape into that space, you come back worse.
I hear you. So now, I want to understand something. Musicians, when they get to a certain level of playing, especially jazz musicians, even their dressing changes. You know?
Yeah.
And certain shoes,
Rings.
What causes that?
I can talk for myself, not for other people. Ne? Now there was a point where I would not go on stage without shades. I would not go on stage without my bandana. Understand? The reason, not for me personally, when I was wearing those things, I was a different person. And when I'm a different person, I'm not judging myself for my playing. Understand? And because I'm a different, it's like you're putting on a character. And because I'm putting on this character, my insecurities are irrelevant. I'm someone else.
I see.
I mean, I thought of doing this interview here, this podcast with shades on. To have brought out another personality.
Really?
Well, not like as in now, I just would have been more relaxed, more confident. Yes.
So why don't you bring them?
Man, I'm not that guy anymore, man.
Okay.
I feel weird wearing shades now.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's a sign that I'm healed, I don't know.
Alright.
But there was a time.
Oh, so that thing is it's a stage character.
Yeah.
It's like when an actress goes on stage, even the name changes.
You're anybody but yourself.
Okay. Alright, because
It happens, bro.
hey man, those guys, and then they want
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Now, me on stage now, it's going to be tashikis. Tashikis or suits. Tashiki, the Hempesa tradition. Yeah. Tashikis or suits. That's what I'm going to use on stage. Or maybe something like this.
Ne?
Yeah.
Man, and you look good, eh?
Thank you, brother.
Eh?
Thank you.
I know you are healed, man.
Thank you.
You are healed.
Yeah, man.
Like when you were talking about, I don't care how I used to see you sometimes. Maravita. You could go to prison for that shit.
But this is what I was saying to you.
No,
I left the house, I didn't care.
Eh? No, 100%.
Yes.
And I can see, you're stylish. Like, like,
It's not every day.
Sister. Victor, man, thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure, brother.
But
Pleasure.
before you go, I need to ask you this.
Sure.
What would you like to see change in the gospel music industry?
Hard to say for someone who's not heavily invested in that industry. I'd like to see individuality, man. I'd like to see individuality in the sense of and I'd like to see confidence. Individuality in the sense of saying, not every song has to start like this. Not every song has to be like this. Because it's gospel, we don't need 8 keyboards on stage. You understand? Because when you listen to the mix, a lot of it's like a drone now. You don't even hear. Some people, they'll cut out the first keys totally, and you find you've got a brilliant person on stage. You understand? So individually, for someone to say like, okay, I'm gonna go on stage. It's drums, it's bass, it's organ, it's piano, it's vocals, and we're gonna rehearse to a point where we don't need overdubs. Though overdubs, it's like a standard now. I understand why they do it. You understand? But I'd like to see individuality, because it's like one thing. People say they sound different from each other. I don't hear it. I sat and I listened to I won't name the channel, but they were playing music the whole day. I thought it was one album, bruh.
You sound like Tsepo Lekgora.
I don't know.
They've got new music out. Habatla, same progression, same arrangements, same keyboard players.
No, but that doesn't happen with the music directors who studied music.
Really?
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen.
And I can even name one, but I'll just name one of the guys who influenced me in Tate Nkubeko. You can hear whatever he does for himself. You can hear that, okay, he's trying to, or he's doing something different, and he's coming with new concepts because he's got the range, because he's got the information. He studied, if I'm not mistaken, and he studied jazz, if I'm not mistaken. Because of, like I'm saying, when you study jazz, we study the pioneers. Like, for instance, you mentioned that demand. He should be studied. I know people don't agree with me, but he should be studied to say, okay, before he came, what was happening? He came, he was doing this. Understand? And then who came after? There was Semimalete. Before that Semimalete, there was like, what did he contribute? And then by studying all those pioneers, that's where you develop the range. That's where you develop the thing to say, okay, this thing can be done like this, thing can be done like this. But now, if one of the people you studied, or the people who you learn, if you're self-taught, and then the people you studied have only been around for 5-10 years, you don't even know the history of gospel. You wouldn't be able to even produce an album for someone from that era because you don't have the range.
No, I heard you. I heard you, Moren.
So I'd like to see that, and I'd like to see confidence to say, because sometimes, and this is why I'm reluctant, not to say I've been offered, but if I were to be offered an MD job with certain artists, and having looked at what they've done in the past, I would say no, because now it's gonna be, since Victor again, there's less, and I'm a less is more guy. You know, if you've heard my music, I don't go out of my way to impress. If something cool happens, cool, great, understand? Because I feel that there has to be a natural flow to your music, understand? And some of this music you can hear what you did is great, but it didn't have to be in that song. Understand? And that comes with being more confident to say, no, I don't need to be flashy to get a point across. And you can only do that as you mature. Hence I said I don't judge. It's young cats who are getting these gigs for these things. I don't judge them, because like I'm saying, when I was 10, I was doing the same thing. Understand? I listen now, there is some like, hey, no man.
What was I doing?
So I hope they get to that point. I will never. I have a lot of young guys, which is fine. I have a lot of young guys from gospel who come and inbox me, yo, bro, like you're hot, you whatever, understand? And I'm like, I'm not even, I don't understand how or why, but they like what I'm doing. And then when they ask for tips, they'll send me the videos. I give up my number like frisbees. Like, here's my number. They send a video. What do you think? I'm like, okay, no, sharp. We tell this pianist, you don't, because you're a big brother. You're a big brother. You want this person to grow. You don't want to crush them. You understand? If I had someone who I admired crush me, I wouldn't be a musician today. So it's another thing, and it happens so much on social media. I mean, I've done it in the past, but I've repented from that to say, have a brotherly way of bringing him up to say, so I'm at that point now.
I see. And if Victor Masingi was not born or had decided to commit suicide, what would the world miss out on?
What would the world be?
What would the world miss out on? What is unique about you that you're contributing to this earth?
I'm just that guy who wants to do everything his own way and differently. It's just me, understand? You know this, bruh.
Yeah.
For whether it's in terms of dressing, whether it's in terms of playing. So I just feel like they would have missed out. I think the biggest thing that I'm here for is to mentor the younger ones. I think that's the biggest thing I've done more than my music. When people respect me, not really sure why. People respect me, people look up to me. Abanye bathi tunes. And less tunes is going to create some problems sometimes. No, not like that. No, tunes as in tunes for those who don't know, this is Zulu. But I know you know it.
No, I get it. Tunes.
Yeah.
Siriti.
Yeah, Siriti, you understand?
Shadow.
Yes, you understand. I didn't work for that.
Yeah.
It's just something that
Do you think it's your aura, Nyana? So?
Yeah, it could be my aura. It could be something I inherited from my dad. Because when you met my dad, you had to respect him whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah. Moren, I think I need to... This is a 101, ne?
We need a part 2.
No, we definitely need a part 2. I needed to start off light. Ponso, do you have a question?
No. Yeah, I was learning.
Yeah, no.
Learning?
Today, I'm not psychology.
Praise the Lord.
Muruti, any closing remarks from you?
No, just to thank you for the opportunity to present on mental health. It's one of the stigmatized area of health, and people ignore it because they are scared of how people will perceive them if they were to look for help in them. And I think coming into such spaces, little as we have done it, it's enough to give someone information that it is like any other disease. It's not different from diabetes, works the same way.
100%.
Thank you.
So the idea today was to just lay a foundation. Decided we must not go further.
Yeah.
Because we might be lost.
No.
Or rather, I might be lost.
No, I understand, brother.
No, none of us are the least educated here. So we don't
Man, you need to stop with that. You're smart in your way. Everyone's smart in their own way. This guy.
Smart, how smart for in your
No.
in your
I wish I had your business savvy, bro.
I'm just playing.
Yeah. you know.
But bro, I can look at from a very early age. And
Yeah, man.
Just know it comes from a good. I'm just playing, man.
No. You're my brother.
But brothers, thank you very much, ne?
It's
So
a
on the
pleasure.
podcast, we've got a sponsor
Oh.
called Little Lak. You know, sister. It's a shower gel. It's what it is. White as snow.
Wait. It's wakai.
Yeah?
It's wakai.
It was prayed for.
Wabona benu.
No, it's from our
I'm kidding,
sponsor
I'm
Little
kidding.
Laka on Instagram. Check it out,
Oh,
Little
yeah.
Laka. There it is. So I'm gonna have one for you. Yeah, kill, yeah. And then one from Mruti.
All
And then
right.
Mruti, black or white, black or red.
Black.
Racist. Mruti, please.
Yes.
Mruti,
Important.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Negela emela but isimo.
Yeah.
Please use it, ne?
No, wait, I will.
Mrena, Luena, you can choose one more. Black or red?
Let's see, red for the blood.
Hey.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Keep on.
I'll take black, bro.
Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it.
Not the cleanest guy out there, so this will work. I don't have to wash it as much.
There we go. Like you go never know how long time how did it chill.
No, I mean cleaning it. Hey, this
What I
guy.
meant.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you could bite off, even if you got 5%, it goes a long way into the idea we're trying to put across. Mental health is among us, our closest people. At least they say one in how many suffer from mental health? It was 2 in 5, 1 in 5, or something like
There's a lot of
that.
crazies out there, bro.
So there's a lot of things going on. Let's learn to, most importantly, show love. It's easier to try and understand than to be understood. So let's make that our mission and show care for people you see that it's not a laughing matter. It's a matter of us.
No joke.
It's not a joke. It's a matter of us coming together and seeing how we can help. Sometimes it takes a push and saying, hey man, I feel like you're not okay, man. Go see somebody. Some people need a push like that. And if somebody comes to you and says to you, hey man, I'm not well, I know I like joking, but sometimes we must take it a bit serious, and I'm gonna make it a concerted effort to make sure that I do that. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen,
Yep.